Every parent should know how to really raise a daughter correctly. Raising a daughter is one of the most profound responsibilities a parent can undertake. It requires intention, patience, and a commitment to fostering a young woman who is confident, compassionate, and capable of navigating the complexities of the world. While there is no one-size-fits-all approach, there are universal principles that parents can follow to raise their daughters with love, respect, and empowerment. This essay explores key strategies for raising a daughter correctly, focusing on nurturing her self-esteem, fostering independence, teaching resilience, and modeling healthy relationships. Nurturing self-esteem and confidence. A daughter's self-esteem is the foundation of her ability to thrive. Parents play a critical role in helping their daughters develop a positive self-image. This begins with affirming her worth unconditionally, complimenting her efforts, intelligence, and character, rather than solely her appearance, helps her value herself beyond societal expectations. For example, praising her problem-solving skills or creativity during a school project reinforces her intrinsic value. Parents should also encourage their daughters to pursue their interests, whether in sports, arts, or academics, and provide opportunities for her to excel. By celebrating her achievements and supporting her through failures, parents teach her that her worth is not tied to perfection, but to her effort and growth. Additionally, shielding her from harmful media messages that prioritize unrealistic beauty standards can protect her self-esteem. Engaging in open conversations about body image and self-worth helps her develop a healthy perspective early on. Fostering independence and agency. Raising a daughter correctly involves empowering her to make her own decisions and take ownership of her life. From a young age, parents should encourage her to express her opinions and make choices, whether it's picking her clothes or deciding on extracurricular activities. This builds her confidence in her ability to navigate the world. As she grows, parents can gradually give her more responsibilities, such as managing her own schedule or handling small financial decisions, to prepare her for adulthood. Equally important is teaching her to set boundaries and say no when necessary. This empowers her to assert herself in relationships and professional settings later in life. Parents can model this by respecting her boundaries at home, such as knocking before entering her room or listening to her when she expresses discomfort. By fostering independence, parents equip their daughters with the tools to pursue their goals and stand up for themselves in a world that may sometimes challenge their autonomy. Teaching resilience and problem-solving. Life is full of challenges, and raising a daughter correctly means preparing her to face adversity with resilience. Parents should teach their daughters that setbacks are a natural part of growth. When she encounters failure, whether it's a poor grade or a disagreement with a friend, parents can guide her to reflect on the experience, identify lessons, and develop strategies to move forward. This approach helps her view challenges as opportunities rather than insurmountable obstacles. Encouraging a growth mindset is key. Parents can praise effort over innate ability, saying things like, "I'm proud of how hard you worked on this," instead of, "You're so smart." This fosters a belief that she can improve through dedication. Additionally, teaching problem-solving skills, such as breaking down complex tasks or seeking help when needed, equips her to handle difficulties with confidence. By modeling resilience themselves, such as calmly addressing their own challenges, parents provide a powerful example for their daughters to follow. Modeling healthy relationships. A daughter's understanding of relationships is shaped by what she observes at home. Parents must model respect, communication, and equality in their interactions with each other and with her. This includes demonstrating how to resolve conflicts constructively, apologize sincerely, and show empathy. By witnessing healthy dynamics, she learns what to expect and demand in her own relationships. Parents should also discuss the importance of mutual respect in friendships, romantic relationships, and professional settings. Teaching her to recognize red flags, such as manipulation or disrespect, empowers her to prioritize her well-being. Open conversations about consent, emotional intelligence, and the value of surrounding herself with supportive people help her build a strong foundation for healthy relationships throughout her life. Encouraging empathy and social responsibility. Raising a daughter correctly extends beyond her individual growth to her role in the world. Parents should nurture her empathy and sense of social responsibility. This can be done by involving her in community activities such as volunteering, or discussing global issues in an age-appropriate way. Encouraging her to stand up for others, whether it's a classmate being bullied or a cause she cares about, instills a sense of purpose and compassion. Parents can also model kindness and inclusivity in their own actions, such as treating others with respect regardless of differences. By fostering empathy, parents help their daughters grow into women who contribute positively to their communities and advocate for fairness and justice. Conclusion: raising a daughter correctly is a multifaceted journey that requires parents to be intentional, empathetic, and adaptable. By nurturing her self-esteem, fostering her independence, teaching resilience, modeling healthy relationships, and encouraging empathy, parents can help their daughters grow into confident, capable, and compassionate women. While every daughter is unique, these principles provide a roadmap for parents to guide her toward a fulfilling and empowered life. Ultimately, the goal is to raise a daughter who knows her worth, pursues her dreams, and makes a positive impact on the world around her. To be an exceptional parent to a daughter, it's essential to understand that raising her correctly means nurturing her to become a resilient, confident, and empathetic individual. This journey requires intentional effort beyond providing basic needs. It involves modeling healthy behaviors, fostering open communication, and equipping her with the skills to navigate the complexities of the world. Fostering self-worth and confidence. A crucial aspect of raising a daughter is building her self-worth. Parents should consistently reinforce that her value isn't tied to her appearance, but to her character, intelligence, and kindness. This can be achieved by praising her efforts rather than just the outcomes, such as acknowledging her hard work on a school project rather than just her good grade. Encouraging her to pursue her passions, whether in sports, arts, or STEM, helps her develop competence and a strong sense of identity. It's also vital to teach her to accept compliments gracefully while also being able to advocate for herself. By celebrating her strengths and supporting her through her failures, you teach her that her worth is inherent and unconditional. Cultivating resilience and independence. Teaching a daughter how to handle setbacks is a core responsibility. Resilience isn't about avoiding challenges, but about learning to bounce back from them. Parents can help by allowing their daughters to experience natural consequences and solve their own problems, offering guidance rather than providing a solution. For example, if she forgets her homework, let her manage the conversation with her teacher. This teaches her accountability and problem-solving skills. Encouraging her to take on new responsibilities, like managing her allowance or planning a family outing, fosters independence. This approach shows her that she's capable and trustworthy, empowering her to face future challenges with confidence. Prioritizing open communication and emotional intelligence. Creating a safe space for open communication is paramount. A daughter needs to know she can talk about anything without fear of judgment. Parents should actively listen, validate her feelings, and share their own vulnerabilities in a healthy way. This exchange helps her develop emotional intelligence and trust. Teach her to identify and articulate her feelings and to understand and respect the feelings of others. Discussing difficult topics, from friendships to body image, should be a regular, non-threatening part of the conversation. When parents act as her emotional compass, she learns to navigate her feelings and build strong, healthy relationships throughout her life. Ultimately, raising a daughter correctly is a dynamic process centered on unconditional love and mindful guidance. It's about more than just protecting her. It's about preparing her to thrive in a world that needs her unique voice, strength, and compassion. By focusing on her character, resilience, and emotional well-being, parents can empower their daughters to become remarkable women who are confident in their own skin and capable of making a positive impact. The art of raising a daughter, nurturing strength, kindness, and authenticity. To raise a daughter is to be entrusted with a profound and beautiful responsibility. It is to guide a young person not merely into adulthood, but into her own power, her own voice, and her own unique place in the world. The notion of a single correct method is a mirage. Every child is an individual, and every family has its own values. However, there are universal principles that can serve as a compass for every parent aspiring to raise a resilient, compassionate, and self-assured woman. It is not about crafting a predetermined image of success, but about cultivating the soil from which she can grow into her fullest, most authentic self. The cornerstone of this endeavor is the cultivation of unwavering self-worth. From her earliest moments, a daughter must internalize the message that her value is intrinsic, not contingent on appearance, achievement, or the approval of others. This begins with the language we use. Praising her effort, "You worked so hard on that project," rather than a fixed trait, "You're so smart," fosters a growth mindset, teaching her that challenges are opportunities to learn, not tests she can fail. It means consciously shifting compliments from, "You look pretty in that dress," to "You look so strong and happy when you're playing soccer." By valuing her character, her curiosity, her kindness, and her resilience, we arm her against a world that will too often try to reduce her to a surface-level image. Equally critical is the active and intentional fostering of her voice. Parents must create a sanctuary where her thoughts, feelings, and opinions are not just heard, but actively sought and respected. This means engaging in real conversations, asking for her perspective, and validating her emotions even when we don't fully understand them. A girl who is taught that her voice matters at the dinner table will be far more likely to use it in the classroom, the boardroom, and in her relationships. She must know that it is not only acceptable but necessary to say no, to set boundaries, and to advocate for herself and others. In doing so, we give her the tools to navigate a world that has historically asked women to be quiet and agreeable. Furthermore, to raise a daughter correctly is to consciously expand her horizon of possibilities. This involves a deliberate dismantling of limiting gender stereotypes. Provide her with a diverse palette of experiences, books about scientists and explorers, tools for building and creating, and opportunities for both collaborative and independent play. Encourage her interests, whether they lie in coding, cooking, chemistry, or art. Expose her to female role models from all walks of life, scientists, artists, entrepreneurs, community leaders, who demonstrate that there is no single path to a meaningful life. Most importantly, model equality at home. A daughter who sees her parents sharing domestic responsibilities, respecting each other's careers, and communicating as partners learns, by lived example, what mutual respect looks like. This foundation of self-worth, voice, and possibility must be underpinned by the essential lessons of resilience and empathy. Shielding a daughter from all failure or heartache is a disservice. Instead, we must teach her how to fall, to feel the disappointment, and then, crucially, how to get back up. We become her safe harbor where she can process setbacks without judgment, equipping her with the emotional fortitude to withstand life's inevitable storms. Alongside resilience, empathy is her compass for navigating human relationships, teaching her to understand and share the feelings of others, to practice kindness, and to stand up against injustice cultivates not just a good person, but a strong leader who can connect and collaborate with a diverse world. Finally, the most powerful tool in a parent's arsenal is not a perfect strategy, but authentic connection. It is presence. It is putting down the phone to listen to her story, sharing your own failures and vulnerabilities, and prioritizing a relationship built on trust and unconditional love. She will not remember every perfectly executed lesson, but she will remember how she felt in your presence, seen, valued, and beloved for exactly who she is. Raising a daughter correctly is not a destination to be reached, but a continuous, loving practice. It requires introspection, patience, and the humility to grow alongside her. It is about providing roots of unwavering support and wings of boundless confidence. The goal is to send into the world a woman who knows her own worth, uses her voice with conviction, embraces challenges with courage, leads with empathy, and lives with authenticity. There is no greater gift a parent can give their daughter, and indeed, the world. Every parent should know how to really raise a daughter correctly. Raising a daughter is not merely a matter of providing food, shelter, and education. It is a profound responsibility that shapes the emotional, intellectual, and moral compass of a future woman. In a world that often imposes conflicting expectations on girls, every parent must learn to nurture their daughter with clarity, empathy, and strength. To raise a daughter correctly is not to mold her into perfection, but to empower her to become her most authentic self. Emotional grounding, teaching her to feel without shame. From an early age, Daughters must be taught that their emotions are valid. Whether she is sensitive, fiery, quiet, or bold, her emotional landscape should be honored, not corrected. Parents who listen without judgment and respond with empathy help their daughters develop emotional intelligence, a skill that will serve her in relationships, leadership, and self-reflection. A daughter who knows how to name her feelings and navigate them is far less likely to be manipulated or silenced by others. Intellectual encouragement. Let her think, question, and create. Too often, girls are praised for being nice or pretty, while their curiosity is overlooked. A parent's role is to cultivate her mind, not just her manners. Encourage her to ask difficult questions, explore diverse interests, and challenge assumptions. Whether she's drawn to literature, science, art, or mechanics, her intellectual pursuits should be celebrated. A daughter who is taught to think critically will not only succeed academically, she will learn to trust her own judgment, independence, and boundaries, raising her to say no without guilt. One of the most powerful lessons a parent can teach a daughter is that she owns her body, her time, and her choices. This means modeling and reinforcing healthy boundaries. Let her know that no is a complete sentence. Teach her that she is not responsible for other people's comfort at the expense of her own well-being. A daughter who understands her right to autonomy will be less likely to fall into patterns of people-pleasing or self-erasure. Identity and self-worth. Let her be more than a role. Girls are often cast into roles: daughter, student, future wife, future mother, before they've had a chance to discover who they are. Parents must resist the urge to define their daughters by these roles and instead help them explore their identity. This includes supporting her gender expression, her passions, her friendships, and her evolving worldview. A daughter raised with the freedom to define herself will grow into a woman who lives with integrity and purpose. Respect and reciprocity. Parenting with partnership, not control. Raising a daughter correctly means parenting with respect. This doesn't mean abandoning discipline. It means replacing control with collaboration. Invite her into conversations about rules, consequences, and values. Let her voice matter. When a daughter feels respected, she learns to respect herself and others. She becomes a partner in her own growth, not a passive recipient of authority. In the end, the goal is not to raise a daughter who fits into the world's expectations, but one who reshapes them. Every parent must understand that their daughter is not a project to perfect, but a person to support. She will stumble, question, and evolve, and that is exactly what she's meant to do. The most correct way to raise a daughter is to love her fiercely, guide her wisely, and let her become wholly herself. Would you like this adapted into a more poetic or narrative form? Or perhaps tailored to a specific age or cultural context?